Well, we have so much racing to look forward to again this weekend from Newbury and Warwick. Now, I'm going to look ahead to some of these races with the guys. And the first race we're going to be looking at is the Grade 2 Denman Chase. Now, our current favourite at the time of recording is Hitman, who is priced up at 13-8. But James, Mackie, who we're bringing in for this section of the show, any strong opinions on this race?
Well, we were just talking before, weren't we? And it's one of those races where I think it's the best of a bad bunch situation when you're looking at this stage. And for me, we talked about Hitman at the top of the market, 13-8. In a better than all this, he'd be nowhere near the top of the market. I don't personally know if he wants to go up in trip constantly, like Connections are saying, because when he's run back at 2 mile 5 at Haydock, it ran really well, and they've shoved it up for the King George and pulled up again. So for me, at this stage, Eldorado Allen, I know he's got to give him £6, but won the race last year, has proven almost this season running better races like the Betfair Chaser, like in behind Protectorate and stuff like that. So if you look down the field, you've got Correct Rambler, I Will Do It. They could be just setting themselves up for a slight trip over in the National. So at this moment stage, at the prices, Eldorado Allen, I'll probably have a go at,
James, siding with last year's winner then, AP, how are you assessing this?
Yeah, I think he's pretty right. You could make a case, look, Paul Nicholls trains Hitman, and that's the only reason why you'd give him any hope of winning the Denman Chase. You couldn't really fancy him on the way he ran the last time, and obviously he'd won at Haydock, and it was a pretty soft race that you'd think he was entitled to go and win. So there's probably less question marks about Eldorado Allen than there is the rest of them. And they, as I said, likes Cove Rambler and I Will Do It look like horses that could be Grand National horses down the line. I don't think it's got an awful lot of depth to it. So the pretty safe one is Eldorado Allen, but the worry, I always think if you don't know and you're guessing, go for Paul Nicholls on a Saturday, because it works most Saturdays, doesn't it?
It does.
You can think too much about these things and think you know too much about these things, and that's why Hitman is the price he is, because of the man that trains him. But Eldorado Allen has probably got the best form over this trip, and definitely over the course and distance, which he won last year. So I can see why we should pick him.
Yeah, there's nothing hidden about Hitman's prices, so may as well go then with Eldorado Allen as the second in the betting. Now, we do have a really exciting horse reappearing again then this weekend, because Jonbon's back out, AP.
Yeah, he is. He's had a break since he won in Sandown. Saw him schooling last week, saw him working on Saturday morning. He's in good form. The one thing, whatever, but Nicky Henderson, he's brilliant at training fast horses to win over those trips. And this horse has done well. It's the obvious place for him to start this weekend. So looking forward to him. As I said earlier, you look at a horse and you think, does jumping fences make them a better horse than they were over hurdles? And the answer to that question with Jonbon is most certainly, because he's very quick from A to B. He's an intelligent horse. He's looked pretty flawless in his runs so far over fences. So looking forward to him at the weekend, and hopefully he has a nice clear round, and all roads will then lead to Cheltenham.
Exactly, tees up the Arkle, doesn't it, then, from what we were discussing earlier on. Now, the other race we're going to look at from Newbury's card is the Betfair Hurdle, James. So this race always wide open. Do you have a slight issue with the ground, though, at this stage with Newbury?
Yeah, like if you're looking at the weather and obviously the frost that's about, you look at the meetings on Wednesday, Thursday, they've got inspections already. So I reckon they're going to have to put the frost covers down, might not be able to water it. You could see it turn up if racing goes ahead. Hopefully it will on Saturday. Good, maybe with a bit of firm in there. And obviously, you don't want to see that with jumps racing. So when you're looking at that, you've got to look at horses that are in the Betfair Hurdle that might like it a bit quicker. For me, look, the one at the top of the market, Farley Bay, we don't know how good that horse could turn out to be. Look, AP will probably know a little bit more than me when looking at the JP horses, and then, like, he likes to chuck one in races like this, doesn't he, that have got a bit in hand. But for me, there might be just some other horses that are a bit more proven, and two that follow the same form line is Hackaday Places for Paul Nicholls, that likes good ground, and then at a bigger price, I think currently around 16-1, William Hill, Highway 1 on 2. So that it's just looking at the ground, and if you look at what Highway 102 did, it went to Ascot, I think off £8 lower, went on to win, beating Hackaday Places by 7.5 lengths. Hackaday Places come out, won at Cheltenham since that's gone up. So I think Highway 102 is off 143. Obviously went into run in the Christmas Hurdle at Kempton. And look, he's not a grade 1 horse. Constitution Hill went on to win. Epatante obviously chased Constitution Hill in behind. And then Epatante's come out with a great performance at Doncaster. So the form's all there with them tying each other. You've got Hackaday Place at 6-1, Highway 102 at 16s. I'd probably be happy to play them both, but more stronger on the 16s because it's a better price.
16 to 1, Highway 102. Yeah. Now, JP has 4 entries up to this stage, JP, in this. But what are your opinions? Can you beat 16 to 1?
No, I agree with everything he says. I'm not sure whether he's going to be, he's got the horse to potentially just, whether looks like he's really well handicapped or not. But the one thing about him is I guarantee you going to the last, he'll be in the mix and he'll give you a run for his money. So whether he's well enough handicapped, of the JP horses, obviously the Emmett Mullins on Filey Bay looks interesting. He's unexposed, lightly raced, won in Wincanton and Doncaster. So he has, and Emmett Mullins trains him. So, and he looks like he's targeted this race, so you think, oh yeah, it looks pretty obvious, doesn't it? But it'll, running in a competitive handicap like this will be a different kettle of fish. Acker Allen is interesting. William Mullins looks like he's going to send him over. I think he's been a little disappointing, to be honest, but because he's trained by Willie, you often give him a chance. Petit Tonnier is a horse that I think, could run well, but whether he's the class to win or not, I'm sure. I think No Ordinary Joe is interesting. He ran well in a Greatwood last year, and then he pulled up at Ascot, was keen. He won in Kempton last time. James Bowen rode him. He works like a nice horse. I told that to one other day, but I don't think it persuaded him to back him. So
couldn't quite.
I'm kind of hoping he's wrong, but I think if I was maybe picking one, I'd probably pick No Ordinary Joe.
10 to 1 as well then.
I just, he has that experience of running in a Greatwood and running at Ascot in the handicaps as well. And I've just got this thing in my head that he has had a clearer run this year than he's had previous, and Nicky has a pretty good record in the Betfair. I just, at the prices, I think I'd take a chance on him. I think he'll give you a good run for your money. 2
fair prices about the pair of those horses. Well done, lads, for finding us, hopefully, something that's going to at least give us a shout then in the Betfair Hurdle. Now, that is our look ahead then to the weekend action. But before I let the lads go, it's time for AP to give us another Ante-Post selection for the Cheltenham Festival. We did ask him for this in our very first week of the Inside Track, but just for an update, AP, who are you siding with now?
I'm sticking with Marine National. I went for him after he won the Royal Bond. I thought he was a pretty smart horse. I know that Gordon's horse hasn't done the Irish point, should I say, hasn't done the form. I think he was a bit disappointed at the weekend. So, but I think Marine National is a good horse, and I think he'll take all the beating in the spring.